Do you feel overwhelmed with marketing and sales when it comes to your business ministry? Have you been in the space of being confused and not sure what social media platform to go on and how to market and do sales and all of it? Well, you are not alone. It is a very, very common thing, and it sure happened in my life as well. And I'm going to try and simplify things for you in this video. So if you would like some clarity and some simplification, then stay tuned. Before we jump in, if you are new to Bold Christian Entrepreneur YouTube channel, I want to give you a very warm welcome. My name is Adele, and on this channel, I share with you those nuggets and things that the Lord taught me over my 8+ years of doing business ministry with the Lord, so that hopefully these things can help you accelerate much quicker into your business ministry. And so if this is something that you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell so you can be informed whenever I release a new video. Now let's jump into it. Marketing and sales. Something that you need to understand about marketing and sales. There are many little tricks. There are many different ways of doing it. Ultimately, the way that you are going to do your marketing and sales is going to depend upon you, the person God created you to be, and also the vision that He has given you. Not every person markets the same. There are people who do have cookie cutters and use the different things that other successful people have used, but ultimately each person puts in their own little unique sway. It is impossible to cut out your own personality and what you bring forward within it. And so I want you to embrace your marketing and sales as you go forward with the Lord in your business ministry. If you are finding yourself being quite overwhelmed and you are early on with your business ministry, I would like to encourage you to only choose one platform, okay? Some advice out there is you need to be on every platform because everyone is on every platform. Now, even though that is true, I want you to think realistically. If you are just starting out, chances are it's only you in your business, or maybe you have a very small team. And if you are going to be on all these channels, social media channels, you have to understand that it takes time to actually record, edit, release, post, and all of those sort of things. Something that you might not have a capacity for at this stage. It is important for you to market, because if people don't know you exist, then you cannot get sales to come in, okay? But ultimately, what you need to know is that you don't need all these platforms from the start. Maybe as you grow and as you scale. So my suggestion to you is to take some time and sit and ask the Lord which platform would be the best for you and the business ministry He has given you. If I reflect back now, when I first started, I went on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube all at the same time. And it was overwhelming. I couldn't do all those platforms. And plus, some of those platforms were not my thing, okay? By nature, I am not a big social media guru. I'm very old-fashioned. I'm still one of those people who like to catch up face-to-face or actually do a phone call rather than I am being on a social media to, answer messages and things like that. Other people love it, that is their thing, but that wasn't for me. And so I struggled to actually build those platforms. But then the Lord said to me, He didn't ask me to build all of them at the start. He just said to me to go onto YouTube. And YouTube I found quite easy because it is not like the other social media platforms. It's more releasing the videos. And I found that I could do that. And what happened was, when I stuck with it and was consistent with it, it started off slowly, but then it increased in momentum, and it just grew and grew and grew from there. And so what I want to suggest to you is, after you've prayed and asked the Lord, then see if what you get from the Lord is in alignment with something that you are already familiar with or comfortable with. So for example, if you are very well versed with Facebook, maybe that is where the Lord is going to tell you to start. If you are more versed with Instagram or LinkedIn, He might tell you that that is where you have to start. Each business has their own unique way of basically reaching out to clients, because you see, not every business is the same. For some businesses it makes sense to start with LinkedIn. For some businesses it makes sense to start with YouTube. For others it might make sense to start with Facebook. What I mean by that is, if you are a local business, your chances of actually getting traction and leads would be through Facebook, because Facebook has its own local communities most of the time if you're living in a town and so forth. And so word of mouth, referrals, and people go looking, searching locally. That would be the best place to start, because if you start off with, let's say, YouTube, then you are going to get people from other places around the world, which is not going to benefit you if you have a brick and mortar business that is maybe doing something physical. Let's say maybe you have a gardening business or maybe a florist business. YouTube is not going to benefit you even if you have all these subscribers, because you're not going to get from YouTube the leads that can locally come and utilize your services, right? And so you have to think strategically about these platforms and what they're each created for, and then tap into them and utilize them to the best of your ability. If you are more servicing overseas, YouTube would be a great one to get that reach. If you are doing business ministry to get the word of the Lord out there, YouTube would be a great one, or even TikTok. If you are more in a professional agency category, LinkedIn might be that one for you, because there's a lot of business people on there. So you have to think about the audience on each of these platforms, because each platform requires you to post and engage in a different way with those audiences. Okay, it doesn't work to have one post and then send it to all these platforms. You have to tweak that message to fit the audience of each of those platforms as well. So don't be too overwhelmed. Just start simplistic with the thing that makes the most sense for your business. Start small, be consistent with it, and be consistent with your message. And what I mean by that is, don't put other things on there. If your business is going to be gardening, for example, don't all of a sudden post just gardening stuff and then put in something about what you ate at 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, because your audience that you are drawing are interested in hearing about the gardening. They're not really interested about your breakfast. And that is something that people sometimes get wrong, is they throw in different content that is not necessarily with the streamline niche that they want people to go to. For example, I keep my YouTube channel separate, right? If I think about one of my channels that has prophetic ministry, I don't post there about Christian entrepreneurship. I let the audience know that I have a channel with entrepreneurship, but I don't post these videos that I post on Bold Christian Entrepreneur on there. Why? Because the audience on there are not looking all for entrepreneurship. So it would not make sense to do that. So think strategically about your messaging and keep that uniform for that platform that you have. The next thing we want to talk about is just keep Jesus at the center of your marketing. Meaning, there are going to be marketing and sales tactics that are a little bit, how can I say, gray areas, not as black and white, if you know what I mean. Some might come forth very manipulative rather than actually being integrous. The last thing you want to do as a Christian entrepreneur is try and hook people based on fallacies, okay? Only market that which you actually do and which you actually can deliver. That is the important part, okay? Just having that integrity. And when it comes to sales as well, I know that some of you might not like sales, some of you might be very adverse to it, and that is okay. I don't see myself as a salesperson either. But here is the thing that the Lord told me. He just said to me, just believe in the product and service or the business ministry or whatever it is that you have, and believe that you are actually solving problems and serving the people, because that is exactly what you are doing. That's exactly why God gave this to you. And when you believe that, you then come out to serve the people, and you speak from a place of conviction about how you can solve their problem. And you know, the greatest thing about that, when you have that firm conviction, you already overcome a lot of those barriers and hesitations that they might have, because they actually pick up that you're confident in knowing that you can solve the problem and that you are there to serve them well. And so it takes a lot of that mind games out of it. And yes, of course, there is ways to refine those skills and up it, but I don't want you to be afraid of it, okay? Just do the marketing and sales as Jesus leads you. Learn from all of those who have gone before you, but ultimately sit with the Lord to find your unique angle, because that is in what He will bless you and get you where you need to be. If you have been blessed by this video and you know of any other Christian entrepreneurs who might be sitting in this overwhelmed space of not knowing where to start with the marketing platforms, please feel free to share this video with them so they can also be blessed by it.